Welcome to your Aquarius horoscopes for the week of March 31st through April 6th. It's officially Mercury retrograde week. The Mercury retrograde starts on Tuesday. And of all the signs on the zodiac, we have a planet that is, of course, in line to be a problem with that Mercury retrograde. No other sign in the zodiac has a planet lined up to be a problem, but we do, of course. And you know why? Because Aquarians are the ones that can handle that. That's why I think, because of course we have Pluto influencing our relationship with our finances still in terms of what kind of power and control we have over that in a square with Mercury as it's going into retrograde. And Mercury's focus very much is on career at this time. So it's heavily influencing challenges between our career opportunities and how well that's working in order to solve our financial relationship problems, right? Well, you can't find something outside of the situation to fix the problem. It's like saying, if I just made more money, my money problems would go away. That's not true. Actually, somebody told me years ago, and it turns out that it's absolutely true. You can always make more money, but if you don't change the way that you deal with money, you'll never have it. So if you like to spend money, for example, you can make more money all you want. You're never going to have any more money because you're not adjusting your spending habits, right? The moon comes in and amplifies this on Wednesday and Thursday. So it really becomes a very frustrating problem. And if you have been changing a few things here and there, you know, I don't know if this is an Aquarius thing or just a me thing, but I try to find a loophole for everything so that I don't have to actually do the work, but find the easy path around it, which never works for me, by the way. Okay, I'm just saying, don't try it because it doesn't work for me either. I think the point here is that for most of us, we do that. We're like, let's find we're always looking for the loophole here. And when the moon comes in, the moon is just like, guess what? There's no loophole. You have to deal with the situation. And it's like, but I didn't want to. And I don't want it to be emotional either. I just want the problem to go away. Well, we can't will a problem to go away. We have to fix the problem. And that's really what it comes down to. To me, Mercury retrogrades have the power to solve problems just as much as they have the power to create problems. I've had great Mercury retrogrades where money is just flying through the door all the time. Everything is great. But this is like a direct, hey there, are you listening to what I'm saying? If you've not put these practices in place to make positive changes in your life, that Mercury retrograde is going to come in and amplify the problem to the point where you don't have a choice but to listen to it, but to face it, but to deal with it. And the moon amplifying this emotionally makes it really difficult. Now, we do have a couple of things here because Pluto and the moon also move into a sextile with Neptune and Venus. Both planets also focused on your career as well. So Aquarians do tend to be very, um, they can be kind of aggressive. Okay. I'm one of them. But we're very logical people, not necessarily creative people. Don't get me wrong, creativity does exist within Aquarians for the most part, but Aquarians tend to be very logical people, black and white. Either it works or it doesn't. Can't, it's funny how we're always looking for loopholes and yet you can't find a loophole in something. It's very black and white. I know we're confusing people, even to ourselves at times. The point is that Pluto and the moon's sextile with Neptune and Venus is actually saying, let's find some creative solutions to this problem. Let's find some creative solutions in our careers that help us to generate that income. and thus help us to change the relationship that we have with our finances. It all comes from the same source, right? This makes total sense to me because running a business like this is with a business background. I have a business background. It's very black and white and cut and dry. There's a certain way of doing things and a certain way that just doesn't make any sense. When you're dealing with something like what I do, which tends to be not so black and white, but there's a lot of gray areas, the two sides clash a lot. The creative ways of dealing with things helps find creative solutions to make the two sides work together so that you can be a little bit more successful than you were yesterday. And you keep that up every single day, eventually you get there, right? It's us. We're the ones, I think, that hold ourselves back more than anything else. Not because we're hermits or we're loners and we don't play well with others. I mean, that's a thing sometimes. But I think really Aquarians think out of the box, and not many people around us really understand where that comes from. They think we live on some other planet or something, but it's us, the out of the box thinkers, that are the ones that change the world, right? And because we are at the forefront of that change, even though we're fixed signs and don't like change, again, nobody understands us, not even us. Um, it puts us in this very interesting place at this time right now to really look at things in a completely different way and say, you know what? Even though I'm a fixed sign and I don't like change, I'm going to be the change that I want to see in the world. I want to be the change that I'm going to see in my finances, in my career, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that most of you have been having these little thoughts just kind of swimming around like I do, where your guides maybe are even giving you various different tips on how you can manage things and change things and make things a little bit easier. And you've been going, yeah, it's there. This week is the time to utilize those ideas. Granted, yes, we may be opening a Pandora's box that we've never in a million years thought we would open before, but now we're ready. And that's the whole point. And being ready, and even if you're not ready, being ready anyways is what's important. It's these changes that we are making right now that are going to solidify what we're bringing to the table later on. So it does seem like a lot to take on. It really does. But if you look at it one little thing at a time instead of the whole thing, it's really not as big as it could be. We make things bigger than they need to be. And knowing this is really going to be helpful. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link in the description. Really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys, let's do this. Let's do this. They don't call it the age of Aquarius for nothing. Okay. Do you hear about any other ages? Absolutely not, because nothing happens during those ages. But during the age of Aquarius, I'm not saying that we're in one now, okay, because we're not. During the age of Aquarius, everything changes. The whole world changes. That's the power of Aquarius, and each one of us holds that power. It's a very big responsibility, but we want to make sure that if there are going to be changes, we want to make sure they're good changes, right? We are the humanitarians after all. I'll see you guys next week. You guys make it a great week.